Okay, they were predicting the Kansas City Chiefs record. So Kansas City Chiefs, they really didn't improve. They did bring in that tackle, but they lost Orlando Brown Jr. Their defense pretty much stayed stagnant. Wide receivers, they lost a few, but they drafted a few guys. And Kansas City Chiefs have pretty much run it back from last year. They are the Super Bowl champions. So you have your first game versus the Lions. Lions could definitely pull off these upset. Chiefs will be heavily favored, but Lions offense was really good last year and will be better this year with Gibbs. Their defense, they brought in a bunch of pieces. They drafted that linebacker, Campbell. They brought Sutton in. They brought Gardner in. So their defense should be improved. Should be, but it might take them time to gel together. And like it's facing an electric offense like the Kansas City Chiefs, who still have Kelsey and Mahomes and Andy Reid. I think they'll scheme something up to beat the Lions. I think this will be a high-scoring shootout, but gonna have to take the Chiefs. Then you have the Jacksonville Jaguars. Jaguars, they did not improve much, but last year, similar to the Lions, their offense was really good, especially late in this season. They still have Trevor Lawrence, they still have ETN. Their wide receivers are all good in second year in Doug Peterson's system. Um, and should be another very high scoring games. Jacksonville defense could be improved, similar to the Chiefs defense, who was really average last year, and I expect them to be average again this year. Jacksonville do have home field advantage. I think this one's going to be a close game. I'm gonna give it to the Jacksonville Jaguars. I think they avenged that divisional game, so I think that I call the upset. I think the Jaguars beat the Chiefs. Then you have the Chiefs versus the Bears. Similar to the Lions, also for the Bears, their defense, they tried to bring in a lot of pieces, but I don't think they did enough. And their offense, they brought in DJ Moore. I still think their offensive line is a work in progress. I think the Bears are too much of a work in progress, while the Chiefs are an established team. I think the Chiefs going to blow out the Bears. Then you have the Jets. Jets have home field advantage, a pretty big home field advantage at that. Aaron Rodgers, Jets brought in Aaron Rodgers. Jets already had a very good defense that should continue, but I do think the Kansas City Chiefs offense is better than the Jets defense. And I think Chris Jones can cause havoc on Aaron Rodgers, especially with that leaky Jets offensive line. So I think the Chiefs are going to win convincingly too. Then you have the Vikings. Then you have them against the Vikings. Another back-to-back road games. Definitely tough. The Vikings. Um, Vikings didn't really do anything to improve their defense. Um, it's still very leaky. Their defense was horrible this year. They didn't do a lot to improve it. So I think Chiefs offense is just going to plow right through that minute Vikings defense, and the Vikings offense just not good enough to keep up, especially with Cook getting released, probably actually. And only thing going for the Vikings here and potential upset is only if the Vikings get a huge home field advantage but they play kind of in a dome, so I have the Kansas City Chiefs winning. Then you have the Chiefs versus the Broncos off another back-to-back weeks, and then they get a short week. So that's definitely kind of advantage on the Broncos. Not really, since the Broncos have to travel, but um, Chiefs, I think they've beat the Broncos like 11, 12, I don't know how many times straight. Broncos, they did bring in Sean Payne. I think that Broncos offense is going to be much improved, but I think their defense is going to get worse with their DC leaving. So I think Broncos this year is going to flip flop, but still, I have the Chiefs winning. And then you have the Chargers versus the Chiefs. Chargers always play the Chiefs tough. Chargers pretty much this year is just going to be a healthier team than last year. Same players, just more healthy with like team JC Jackson coming back, Bosa getting more healthy again, Mike Williams probably not missing games. And I think this one's going to be a tough game. The Chiefs, I think they can do very well against that Chargers defense, but I think that Chargers offense can also do very well against that Chiefs defense. So I think this one's going to be a shootout. And early on, I'm gonna have the Chargers winning. And you have the Broncos again. They play them twice in 3 weeks. Broncos this time have home field advantage. Um, only way the Broncos really win if Sean Payne schemes up something super duper different. Like I said, I think the Broncos defense is going to get worse, while the Chiefs offense, pretty much at this point should be starting to ramp up. So I have the Chiefs winning. Okay, then you have the Chiefs versus the Dolphins in Germany. So in the neutral playing field, Dolphins can definitely cause an upset. Their offense, they have Tyreek Hill, Jalen Waddle. As long as their offensive line hold up, I think it's a good offensive from the Dolphins, and as long as Tua's healthy, obviously, I think they have potential to match the Chiefs. Dolphins defense weren't really that good last year, but with Vic Fangio, it should be better. but it might not be enough to stop the Chiefs, so I have the Chiefs winning. Then you have the Chiefs versus the Eagles, both coming off bye weeks. It's a Super Bowl rematch, and Eagles have just improved, bringing in people like Jalen Carter. I am worried about their secondary, and I think this will be another very high offensive shootout. But I do trust the Eagles defense more than I trust the Chiefs defense. And I think whoever gets the ball last will win, so I have the Eagles winning. Then you have the Raiders versus the Chiefs. Raiders they aren't very good, okay? Their defense isn't that good. Their offense, Devontae Adams, and that's pretty much, and Josh Jacobs, and that's pretty much it. And those two players aren't good enough to beat the Chiefs. The only potential upset is because Vegas has home field advantage, and they're all the way out in Nevada. So I still have the Chiefs winning though. Then you have the Packers, another back-to-back road game. Um, could be cold in Green Bay. Don't really know. If Jordan Love suddenly becomes the next Aaron Rodgers, this could potentially be an upset. But until then, I just don't trust the Packers defense enough to give them the win because they're being held back by the offense. So I have the Chiefs winning. Then you have the Chiefs versus the Bills. Bills are coming off a bye week, and the Chiefs are having back-to-back road games. So this one's definitely and they do have home field advantage, but Bills are coming off a bye week. So Bills, they did improve their offensive line with McGovern. Their defense with Von Miller back should be better and could have potential problems for the Chiefs. Their offense is obviously good with Josh Allen. This is a very even matchup, similar to the Eagles, and I'm going to take the Bills for this one. Then you have Chiefs versus the Patriots. Patriots defense will always be good with Bill Belichick, and they will always cause problems for whoever offense, even Mahomes and Kelsey. So this one's I think it's going to be a lower scoring game. But Patriots offense just can't match the Chiefs, so I gotta take the Chiefs. And then Week 16 versus the Raiders, similar to what I said earlier, Garoppolo, Davante Adams, Josh Jacobs just not going to carry that team against the Super Bowl champion, so I have the Chiefs winning. And then similarly again, Bengals. Bengals, this one's another AFC Championship rematch. The Bengals have had Kansas City's number, so this one, I don't know why Chiefs just don't perform well against the Bengals, so I have the Bengals winning. And your final game, Week 18, against the Chargers. Chargers are good, but I don't see them sweeping the Chiefs, so I have the Chiefs winning. So in the end, I have the Chiefs going 12-5, 5-1 in the division, 5-4 at home, and 7-1 away.